Kufri test. When Kufri test, see both. Before we spoke about that you have to try to eat the both Kesesel and Matzah together. He said if you can't, then you should eat first one and then the other. But he says, Mishaini Yochel Lilois Matzah. The matzah is hard, so he's having problem to chew it. Mutter l'shloisei b'mayim l'rachacha. Now this Eitzah, of course, is not an Eitzah for those that eat gebroks. But he's talking about for those that eat gebroks, the water doesn't change the composition of the matzah. It just maybe softens it a little bit. Ubilvad sheloi tehei nimches l'gamri. It shouldn't be that it becomes very saggy. If it becomes very saggy, it's ois matzah. Umishu zakan al-chayla ve'eni yochel l'ocha shruya b'mayim. So he says yochel l'shroisa b'yayin or b'sham mashkan. It doesn't have to be dafka water. The mile of water, maybe water softens quicker. The wine over here is it's a shalu from May Peiris. If someone is doing that, that you shouldn't soak the matzah, because if you soak the matzah, then it's kavush, and kavush is kamvushal, so it's cooked matzah already. It's no longer baked matzah. Kiosk of shev is kamvushal, then it's considered like cooked. And you wouldn't be yaitzer with cooked matzah. You're not yaitzer. In other words, other things that can cause it that it will no longer be considered lechem. He doesn't go into specify it over here, but
He doesn't have it surah. Anyways, it doesn't look like lechem. Matzah doesn't look like lechem.
matzah is lechem. We don't.
Oh, lechem.
We try to avoid saying the word lechem on Pesach.
Oh, we don't say the word.
But it's matzah is lechem oini. Achakach not the kazayis mora. After that, he takes the kazayis mora, and v'cheinu noisen l'chol echot mebnei beisai. He gives the same to each family member. See, in other words, he keeps emphasizing that this is not just a thing that the head of the Seder does. Before, when we spoke about Urachatz, says mashma that the way the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch teaches it, the head of the Seder does it, and demonstrates it for the people. But over here, these are things that the people have to actually eat. So he's saying that he takes the mortar and he gives it to everybody. V'toivoi b'charaisis, and he dips it in the charaisis. U'menayir es ha'charaisis, and after you dip it in, the charaisis has items, food items, like different fruits or something. It has wine. You don't want it to give it a taste. It shouldn't be like lettuce with wine, So you trace it up, you shake it up. Shalei yizbatel tama mora. Umevorach, and you make a bracha achilas mora. V'oichai b'lei aseiva. That you don't eat aseiva. The mora is not an inyan of chedus, it's an inyan of avdus. So you don't eat it aseiva.
This is talking about romaine lettuce.
It should have also mentioned here that when you make a bracha al achilas mora, you also have to sign the mora of the koirach, the mora that you eat later. Achakach, after that, noitel min hamatzah hatachtayna, gam ken kazayis. He's talking about matzah number 3, the bottom matzah. You take a kazayis. Now, it seems like a kazayis is approximately about a half of a matzah. If the matzahs go 8 to a pound, and a pound is 16 ounces, and a kazayas is an ounce, so kommt aus that a half a matzah is a kazayas. Some want to make up by a shir where you need a shir with deraisa, a shir with derabanan. In other words, when you eat achilas matzah, so you want to have a shir with deraisa, but when you have a achilas mora, it's a shir with derabanan. So then they're a little bit makel in the shir.
So what is it? So how much is it? A half a matzah? What?
What?
So what is it? A half a matzah to be?
The half matzah is the most.
But it depends on the if it's thick.
Huh?
The matzah is thick, then it's.
All the matzahs, thick or thin, is approximately 8 matzahs a pound. All the matzahs, thick or thin, and b'meila, a pound is 16 ounces, so a half a matzah is approximately. Huh?
I say, no, it's thick one is like it's not water from that.
Yeah?
If the matzah is thick,
Rabbi, where do you get your matzahs?
By Tannenbaum.
And you get 8 in a pound?
Hmm?
You get eight matzahs in a pound?
You mean, you're saying, what are you
I
saying?
want to buy where you got it from.
You're saying you gave more than 8 matzahs in a pound?
Maybe 5, 6 if you're lucky.
Huh? I think you get 8 matzahs in a pound. There may not be shleimus, but I think you get 8 matzahs in a pound, approximately.
Maybe we shouldn't really talk about it. We don't want to upset Rabbi Edelman.
Hmm? So he takes so first he started with the mora. And after the mora, achakach noito min matzah tachtaina, from the third matzah, gam ken kezayis, and begam kezayis mora, and v'nochen l'tovoi gam ken b'chareisa, by us it's not a mochem, but we actually do it. U'anara me'olav, and to shake it off. U'meniach es ha-mora toich ha-matzah, he put the mortar in between the matzah. V'ayim, when he says, Kain osa hillel, v'chulu, v'aychel b'aseiva, and you eat it b'aseiva. What's he say here? U'gatchila, yizor levleya shnei hazeisim b'vasachas. Yishehem berusa b'piv. In other words, what he's saying over here is that you should try to chop it up in your mouth and then swallow it. It sounds very difficult to do such a thing, but that's what he says over there. Now he says, we kept talking about kazayas. We kept speaking about kazayas. So finally he comes and he says, shir kazayas, the shir of a kazayas, what's this measurement of kazayas? Kasabnu b'kolim, we wrote in where it has column general rules, she'u k'moi chotzi beitzo, that it's a half of an egg. Omnam yesh omrim, however, there's those that say, she'u pochos gitzas mishlish beitzo. Some say it's like a third of an egg. So that's much less. That's what I said before. That there's a difference in Midaraisa and Midarabonim. When you talk about Chiyuv and Midaraisa, you have to go L'chumra. When you talk about Chiyuv and Midarabonim, you go L'kula. The Kiva, the Mora, Bezman Hazeh, who is Darabonim. L'chain, therefore, Misha Kosho L'chol Mora, Yochel Lisma al Deya Zois, that is less than an ounce. Lechel Rak Pochas Katzas, Mikamai Shlish Beya. If you vote a chola, we can make a bracha. Umishu Chayla, She'eni Yochel Lechel Mora Klau, someone that for health reasons can't eat Mora, Yilais Al Kaponim Katzas Me'aminim, he should chew a little bit so he'll absorb a little bit from the taste. Sheyotzavem, a shar esuma, at sheyagish tam merias befiv, v'zeicha ba'alma b'loy bracha, because he's not eating a shear. He's just like extracting a little bit of juice from it, not eating a shear, so you can make a bracha. Actually, he's not eating anything. The truth is, on anything that you eat, even if it's less than a shear, you have to make a bracha. The shal is always about making a bracha achrayna, but a bracha is showing you have to make. But over here, he's not eating it. He's just like chewing on it to get some bitterness. Huh?
Maybe it means the bracha of the alachilas mother, not adoma. Adoma chayvin is because you ate cakes with kapas.
We don't make adama. You made before.
So it means the bracha for the alachilas mother.
Okay, because he's not eating motor pile. He's just squeezing it to get some bitterness.
The real mother is romaine lettuce. Real mother is romaine lettuce. The Gemara, right?
That's what the Gemara says, that there's 5 types of vegetables that fall into the category of motor. And the Chacham say that the real motor is romaine lettuce, because it gets bitter in the ground.
Right.
But
So why do people so machmer with the
because they want to feel the bitterness.
the bitterness?
And if you're not going to add some ground mortar, you're not going to feel any bitterness. When you're chewing lettuce, you don't chew that part that's in the ground.
The lettuce changed what it used to be, because lettuce used to be bitter. It's when it changed.
The lettuce was not bitter. It's the root. The root that was in the ground was bitter.
You're buying the romaine lettuce, you're not having the roots, the cabbages.
After that, Oichan HaSuda. Now, we start the Suda with eating the egg. And like I said already, that one of the reasons for eating the egg is because the egg is a Suda, a Michael Avegum. And the same date of the night of Pesach is also the night of Tisha B'Av. In other words, like this year, the Pesach starts on a Wednesday night, so Mitzvah Shem, when it come Chodesh Av, will still be in Golus. Tisha B'Av will be on a Wednesday night, going on Thursday. That's one of the reasons for the egg.
On Pesach is because Tisha B'Av.
Huh?
We eat an egg at Pesach because Tisha B'Av.
We eat an egg. Some say that we eat an egg because it's a zecher to Avelos.
On Tisha B'Av.
What will be on Tisha B'Av.
You're eating
Right.
egg?
What has to do with Tisha? What has to do with Tisha B'Av?
That's in the can.
Huh?
It says that the
Some say
Pesach and
we also learned before in Shulchan Aruch that the egg is in Aramaic is boy rachmona. We don't pronounce the tzaddik. We don't say beisa. We say beya.
Oh,
And beya means boy rachmona. The Eibusher wanted to redeem us. So that's the eating of the egg. Some say the eating of the egg is a zeicha state covered leif parei. What's the shot covered leif parei? To remember Parei's heart. His heart became harder every time. And with all the warnings that he got, he became more stubborn. And the egg, the more you cook it, the harder it gets. Normally, food that you cook gets soft. You take a piece of meat. If you cook it an hour, it comes out soft. You cook it for 2 hours, it's very soft. And the egg is punkt vaket. That the more you cook it a little bit, it's soft. You have like a soft boiled egg. You cook it a long time, you have a hard-boiled egg. So covered lay pare, it reminds you of the pare's heart that was knocked out, so to say, by Golda's side, that the pare screamed that the Yidden, they should leave. That's another reason for the egg. So he says, "V'yesh lecha kol hasuda b'aseva." You should eat the whole meal. That's not our minhag. Our minhag is not over here. He brings over here, Mastama, you have it all. It says, "B'Rabbeinu kosev, the reshus b'yodai lecha v'lishtais b'lei aseva. Avram Mesa v'arezeh mishubach." And then he says, "V'nei lecha beitzim v'yechel oisam shebekaira." Our minhag is also that the egg that we eat, we dip it into salt water. So we connect the all the intentions of the egg with the salt water, which has to do with the difficult tears that the people had from the Avodas Perach. Now he says, "V'achochem eina b'roshei." Now, what's the tash of chochem eina b'roshei? Everyone's eyes is a part of the head. But a chochem eina b'roshei means that the chochem sees into the future. In other words, so therefore he says, he's eating his Suda. If he's going to start eating the Suda, he'll be so full that he wouldn't be able to eat the Afikomen. So that's what he's going to tell you now. That a Chochem Eina B'Roshei, the Chochem is careful. He thinks about the future. That Shaloi L'Mala Kreisa, not to fill up his stomach. L'man Yuchal Lechal Es Afikomen Kimitz Rosai. Because the Moshe by us, the Afikomen is 2 kazesim. So the Afikomen is a lot of matzah to eat. It's after the meal, to eat 2 kazesim is not an easy thing. And if you eat a full meal, you'll have difficulty.
I think we learned before that the Afikomen we shouldn't.
V'loi locha wel achil gasa. Achil gasa means that where you're stuffing yourself. It's called a gluten in English. Ve'ein eichem basa tzoli b'shnei haleilos. The 2 nights, you're not allowed to eat roasted meat. Now, roasted meat could mean, Moshe, let's say, in the place where they sell chicken, the chicken is what they call rotisserie. Rotisserie means roasting. It gets roasted on a fire. So that chicken, the chicken that you're supposed to eat really is partially the chicken that's cooked with a soup. And this applies to Filishal Oif. The whole reason is that it shouldn't look like a Korban Pesach. And an Oif can't be a Korban Pesach, but even though the Chacham say you shouldn't eat tzli, because it has a resemblance of the tzli of the Korban Pesach. V'afilu b'shlu v'achar kach tzolu b'gdeira ein oichon. He's saying over here that if originally it was cooked and then later you fried it, he doesn't talk about what about for cat? What about if it was fried and then it was cooked? So then it's no shayla. The Rebbe says there's no shayla.
You showed it last year.
Yeah, I showed it in Shulchan Aruch. So he only talks. He talks about only bishlu b'achar because no one's going to do it the other way really. To take roasted meat and cook it doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to do that.
When roasted meat, what do you mean? Roasted meat and after cook it?
Take roasted meat,
yeah,
and then throw it into a chicken soup. and let it cook with the chicken soup. That's a very strange way to make it.
If you roast it, then you can cook it after. Then you said last time if you roast it,
If you roast it and you
cook it after,
yeah, I said it's good.
it's good.
That's what I'm saying. So simple over here, he only tells you one way over here. He only tells you
If you cooked it,
if you cooked it and then you roasted it. He's telling you the negative part.
I don't think it's even possible to cook it and roast it.
I'm saying that he doesn't talk the other part because there's no way that anyone's going to do such a thing. Now, the Rebbe Shulchan Aruch is more detailed, but this Kitzur Shulchan Aruch doesn't mention that. So he says, "Afilu bishlu v'achakach tzoru b'gdeiro." It's a little b'gdeiro. It could be also what they call pot roast. Pot roast means that it was roasted in the pot in its own juice. It's not not cooked in a soup. Ein yesh noigen shaloi lecho b'loigos elu shum tibul chutz m'shnei tibulim shel mitzvah. I don't know if we're nizar about that. Kedei shetihei nika she'elu hein v'shem mitzvah. To emphasize that there's a special tibul, but you're doing because of Pesach.
Rabbi Bogominsky,
Okay, we'll stop over here.
Rabbi, if meat is just cooked in the oven,
What?
you put meat in the oven, baked, that's not roasted.
There could be that's considered pot roast.
Huh?
It could be that's considered pot roast.
That's roasted. It's roasted. Roasted, it's not roasted.
But if you put juice in the chicken like juice, if
If you fill it up with water, then you're cooking it.
then it's cooking.
Yeah?